And this is something that sometimes can be problematic for those with Cancer placements, right? Because when cancers, and this is why cancers will often try to get better with sitting with their feelings instead of like closing up or moving away when things get hard. Bottom of the deck on this. Yeah, because the thing is, cancers, as you mature, cancers, you know this about yourselves. You know, as you mature, like what is the swan song that you often hear that a cancer will apply to situations, right? What is the swan song that you often, that like a cancer will beat themselves up with perpetually? What if I stayed, right? What if I stayed? Like you often hear this in the context of those with cancer placements, right? Because cancers, much like Scorpios, can always recall that time that they said something that they knew that they shouldn't and they could never take it back. Cancers often recognize that moment by which they departed, right? Because they were feeling energetically vulnerable. And then they beat themselves up for like a century, asking themselves, like, what would have changed if they'd had the fortitude to energetically remain somewhere? And I feel like there's something important that's happening right now for cancers, because it's cancers. I literally see almost a situation where like which a cancer is like about to like like about to walk out the door on something, and they're having that moment of understanding, going, I've done this before. This feels like deja vu. Like it's like they're catching themselves before. And I want to say, if that's happening for cancers, congratulations, right? Congratulations. I would like to welcome you. I would like to welcome you to the Intimacy Club. Yes, your membership card is in the mail. We're going to talk about our feelings. Yep, come back in. Okay, sit down. Okay, now we can begin. I mean, I like again. Yeah, here it is. Right. I feel like this is good because it feels to me, and I like to point this out for that, like it's a continuation of the work that we can expect and see for those with cancer placements right now, which is like a little bit of uncomfortability that allows us to be able to see like the capacity of whether something can change, right? Continuing to get clarification for our Geminis right now. Gemini, sun, moon, and rising. I can't hear it. It's too loud in here. I can't hear you over all this partying. Look at this. I knew it. I don't even draw these cards. Like, what am I? Did you see me? I was like, yeah, I don't need to draw these cards. You're not here. Where are you? Like, you've caught a flight. I don't even care if you're in your house right now. You're on cloud nine. This is cloud nine energy. And the thing about it is, like, but here's the thing, and I often like, I love it. It's so funny, and I just want to point out, I don't know what it is. Every other sign work, it's the, it's always it's the Gemini's, man, every day, because you have to understand, Gemini's work on the array. So when Geminis are doing a party, when Geminis are celebrating something, it's never a single day, right? It's a calendar. It's a calendar, right? Like, and so I feel like I literally see Geminis being like, not this month. Nope. Nope. This is my calendar. Like, this is my calendar. Mm-mm. Like, you're not interfering in like, you can't get up my calendar in here, because it feels a lot like that work that they're potentially navigating or working through in observation, or understanding the quality and condition by which, like, the thing about the jet, like, Geminis, this, right? Like, you often recognize, and I want to point out, the reason Gemini sometimes are like this, especially during their birthday season, is because, right, like, even if there's something planned, they plan something for themselves, right? They've got it covered. You've got it covered, because that's often the space by which there's a lot of healing. And I want to point this out. It's very unique to Gemini energy, right? Geminis don't mind planning things for themselves, because that means anything else another person plans for you is extra, right? That takes the weight right? That is how the Gemini cares for those around them, because that is Gemini calibrating their own disappointment, right? It's the weirdest thing. It happens just with Geminis, right? It's the Geminis that say, like, look, I'm going to make sure that what others prepare for me, I am eager to receive, because everything now is extra credit, right? I will say, you know, sometimes energy can surprise you. Okay, sometimes, and I feel like there might be something here about Gemini energy working through something, that not only is there something delightful that they've done for themselves, but leaving, I keep hearing leaving room. Like, even if you're doing things right now, bumper to bumper with things that delight you, leave a little room for others to potentially surprise you, right? Is what I keep on seeing. Like, leave a little leave a little bit of that room. Leave a little bit of that room for possibility and potentiality. Thank you so much, Gemini, for having that reading with me. The next sign we're reading into right now is Taurus. 3 cards for Taurus. What do we got? We've got the 8 of Pentacles in its reversal. And we've got the 3 of Pentacles in its upright. And we've got the 7 of Pentacles in its upright. It's giving me a lot of the only way out is through kind of energy right now for Taurus placements. And I just want to remind those with Taurus placements right now, there's only one sign currently in your house, and it's Mars. And I've already said this, like, Aries often come here to heal their Saturn placements. Taurus often comes here to heal their Mars placements, right? So it could be feeling like it's little fires everywhere. It's like it's triggers upon triggers right now, right? And I feel like some of it, like, the hard part about it is, I wouldn't be surprised right now if there are things that that are coincidental, that feel like they're intentional. I want you to understand that is the energy right now, right? Like, you've got Mars in Taurus, and when Mars is in Taurus, for those with Taurus placements, something coincidental can be occurring that feels incredibly intentional. So remember, right? Remember that synchronicity is a thing. That wild, and again, I'm stressing this because even yesterday, did you see all of the synchronicities that were coming through in the reading, right? When there's a lot of synchronicity is not intentional. Synchronicity is not intentional, but sometimes when it feels so synchronous, it can feel very intentional. But recognize, again, potentially bottom of the deck, yeah, like, hold hold a synchronicity with reverence instead of ire. Okay? And the reason I say hold the synchronicity with reverence instead of ire is because, and it's interesting because I'm saying, it's actually, I'm not even saying reverence, I'm saying resonance, right? Because sometimes the universe brings us things that resonate, that allow us to contemplate on something deeper, right? Think about that inner bell, is what I keep on getting. Think about that inner bell, because in the space by which we're able to effectively identify or recognize something that feels similar to the present versus something from the past, we're able to identify how much we have changed, right? The ability to understand what has changed versus what has remained the same. So don't get like don't get Like, don't get vexed about it. Don't get upset about it, even though, again, I know it's hard with Mars because it may feel like it's like, I feel like it feels like something that's like literally like resting on a nerve, or it feels like that nerve is being stressed or or struck repeatedly, but being able to investigate why it strikes, right? Because when we start to investigate why it strikes, then we can understand and start to work to unpack some of the energetic things that we've been carrying. So I want you to just be, I want you to kind of, now I know it's hard because I can even see this here with all of this pentacle energy, right? Like allow yourself to process it before you, I keep wondering, process it before you energetically, it's funny because I'm getting, process it before you punish with it, right? Because, but I want to say, like, there shouldn't be anything. It's not there. I keep wondering, it's not there to punish you. It's there to help you understand and move into something in a deeper way via a pathwork of contemplation, right? So allow that, like, allow, I keep wondering, like, I feel like the word that'll help you with that is the word resonance, right? Being like you even saying to someone like that has a lot of resonance for me, right? There's something about that is very, that is really very deeply connected to me, and that can be like the basis of a conversation that may help kind of incur or help another on their healing journey. Continuing right now, final sign for today. Oh, Aries, we already got the first card flying out of the deck, and it's a Magician. It's reversal. Two more, please. Oh Lord, oh my gosh, oh Lord, and they're both cantilevered. I need to point out this, you are so good at cleaning up messes. You are so good at cleaning up messes that words gotten around, right? And that's the hard, like, that's the thing about it. You know, like, the funny thing is, I like to point out that like every Aries you see, every Aries you see, um, gives off the facade of like every Aries you see gives the facade of catastrophe around them, but there's actually a lot of neatness, right? There's a lot of neatness in the heart of an Aries, right? Aries know exactly. Aries know exactly where the important things are, which is why when an Aries tells you not to touch their stuff, like, never, just believe, never straighten up for an Aries. Like, never straighten up for an Aries. Never straighten up for an Aries if they haven't asked you to straighten up. Because Aries will, you'll literally see something that looks completely chaotic. You will literally look at something and be like, oh, I'll do them a favor, right? I'll do them a favor. Oh, they're going to be so happy. They're going to be so happy. I'm going to do them a favor. And an Aries is going to walk in and literally look at someone and say, what have you done? And then they'll say, I was doing you a favor. And they'll go, you didn't, I have a system. What did you just do to my system? You just don't do it. You don't do it. And I feel like that's, and this is what, like, I see, like, and I feel like, you know, and I think, and the one thing I'll say, if whatever I'm seeing here is, understand, understand if another person had the best intentions, right? Like, I feel like that what would really happen here is, if this is not the first time it's happened, then I can see why the Aries would be upset. I can see why, like that's the thing about, like, Aries are always Aries are very fine. But the problem that I'm seeing here is, this feels like Aries can't deal with twice, right? You'll always notice this, right? When you talk to an Aries and they get fed up with something, the word you'll always hear out of an Aries, and they'll shout it, they'll be like, twice. Right? Like, when an Aries says twice, like, they're done. Like, like, it's the twice, because it's the Aries that effectively, have to understand, when Aries don't have a lot of patience, right? There you got the Aries, right? There you got an Aries with a perfect system, right? And another person steps on it. And there's the Aries the first time. What's happening there? There's the Aries that's like about to like storm, like you feel the storm starting. And then the Aries summons all the patience, all the patience that they can possibly muster, right? Like there's the Aries, like you can see, you can always, you can see an Aries when they're trying to quell the storm, right? And it's usually like there's a breath involved. Like you see them, like they're literally trying to change the weather inside themselves. And what they're doing is they're trying to take all of that rage and being like, I need to turn on the patience machine right now, right? And they're turning it into patience because they got a reason to, right? Because it's the first time, right? And there you'll suddenly see the Aries through like clipped breath go, I need to explain something to you, right? And they never open their mouth very much. They don't open their mouth very wide when they say it, right? Because it's taking all their breath not to yell. Like, I just need to explain something to you. And it's like you can see the storm that they're holding back. And they'll sit there very carefully and walk someone through something with every it's the most beautiful thing you've ever seen. Every single inch of patience that the Aries can muster to work through something. And that's why when something happens again, when after Aries has gone through that process, if it happens again, it's like the word like and then somebody's like, I don't know what got into them, and someone else will be like, I do. Like how like and then you turn to the Aries and you go, Aries, what happened? Aries doesn't say, and Aries goes twice. Like it's just, right? Like that's all Aries does. All you hear is Aries just going twice. Like that's it. So I feel like this is a twice situation, right? This is a twice situation happening here for Aries. This is what I saw. This is Aries being like, and this is literally Aries having to kind of explain a twice situation to someone, being like, no, but you're and someone being like, but what did you do? And them being like, and they're just going twice. Like bottom of the deck. Walk them through the first time. They you have to remember, nobody else saw the first time, right? No, nobody else saw that. Nobody else saw the first time, right? So I feel like don't get stressed, right? Don't get stressed. Just walk them through it. Like I know, collect your breath, go take a walk, right? Go put on some music. You've got every right to be upset, right? But I just keep on getting. Allow this to be the context by which you define change, right? Don't fly into a rage. I'm not saying they don't have a reason to, but the context by which you can patiently walk. Don't rush forward. Step backwards. This is what we talk about when we mean collecting ourselves, right? We collect ourselves. When we collect ourselves, it means we collect ourselves for others. Doesn't mean that we let something go. We walk someone through what we've been collecting, right? We walk someone through, right? When we collect ourselves, we show each other our collections. So think about that. I feel like that's going to help Aries right now. The you collecting yourself is you showing another person your collection of recollections. Okay? I'm going to say it again for you. Okay, I want you to write it down. You composing yourself, you collecting yourself is you showing another person your collection of recollections. Okay? Thank you so much, Aries. Those are all of the signs today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving these messages. Just a reminder, if you would like to book a private reading with me, it is a two-step process. You have to book the reading, you have to pay for the reading. Please make sure you do both if you'd like to have that reading. Most importantly, please remember that I will never, ever, 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 ever reach out to you for a private reading. I will never DM you. I will never PM you. I will never slide into your inbox and tell you that I have a very important message that only I can deliver. The only way you can book a reading with me is if you book one on my site, and I would encourage you to do it there. A couple of updates today before we move into personal readings. First and foremost, thank you to everyone who participated in our recent tarot class. Our next tarot class is this week. I would encourage you to join us over on the Stack for our class on the Ace cards. And all you need to do if you'd like to become a part of our class network is head on over to the Stack and become a paid subscriber. Your paid subscription to the Stack is your ticket of entry into our live classes each and every month. You will also, as a paid monthly subscriber, have access to over 9 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. Now, it's not necessary to catch up. I'll be doing my best to give you an update on everything we've seen energetically prior to beginning those classes, but the material is there for you to receive as you're ready to receive it. And if you become a founding member, not only will you receive a discount on the full year's worth of classes, but you'll also have access to over 20 hours worth of material in the Tarot Church Library class archive. One of the things I tried to do in these classes was make them accessible to the absolute novice tarot reader as well as the seasoned reader. There's definitely something there for everyone. Don't let your lack of experience or your robust experience prevent you from joining us in these classes. And even if you don't become a paid subscriber to my Stack, I would encourage you to follow me there to stay up to date on any new offerings or services. I also post my mystic meditation articles there, which will give you updates on everything we've been seeing energetically in the cards. Just wrote one recently on this new moon that we just navigated. And finally, I want to let you guys know that on top of my standard life path readings, I also offer mentorship classes. These are for any of my students seeking a more personalized educational experience with me. I take a very limited number of students for this reason, as those classes are focused on each individual's personal spiritual goals and journey work. Those classes can be purchased on an individual level or as a monthly class series, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits. Also, for my students that are seeking more consistent weekly tarot support, I'm very happy to offer weekly tarot insight packages. That is a package of 4 30-minute reads, again, weekly or bi-weekly, as your schedule permits, so that you can stay more consistent on your personal journey at a discounted rate, as well as dream interpretation readings, which can be purchased per dream or as a series. If you purchase the series, I would encourage you to start to keep a dream journal, as we will meet weekly or bi-weekly with that journal and utilize the tarot to understand the key themes and messages coming towards you in the dream space. I want to thank you so much for being here today and sharing in these messages, and we will do this again tomorrow. That is our daily collective read. We are going to get started on personal readings. Congratulations to Nicole. You got the highest gifter today. And thank you so much, Avatar. You came in second, so you have an additional card in your reading. If anybody else would like to get on the list for today, the list is open. You will be the 6th person read for. 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Binks in my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I am going to take a few minutes to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Also, if you are on the hold list and would like to be added back to the list, all you need to do is let me know the date that you are added to the hold list, and I'll be happy to add you back as well. And bear with me one moment. Excellent. Hi there. How you doing today, Colleen? Good to see you. So RH, those who are joining us over on the place where we keep the videos, in order to have a reading, all you need to do is send the donation. I will point out that if you post the same request over and over again, it doesn't allow others to communicate. It will result in you being removed or muted. Excellent. How you doing today, Picasso? Hope you're having a beautiful day. Okay. Excellent. So I need to point out, Amin, that Yeshua was trying to articulate that we should embody the teachings of Yeshua. Yeshua never asked us to worship him. And the space by which you identify, the space by which they articulated that by practicing the way that they lived in terms of holding compassion for others, that was what they were asking us to do, not trying to utilize the demand that one worship Yahshua. That's exactly antithetical to what they were teaching. I hope you understand that, and I'm sending you support. I've also got a very important rule here, which says you can't come in here with a fear-based mindset, trying to articulate, trying to misquote another person's teachings, and trying to articulate that another person has to conform to them or else they're in danger is antithetical to what they were preaching. I hope you understand that, and I hope you find peace on your journey. Excellent. I'm happy to read for you, Slice, if you'd like to get on the list. List is open. It's 3 cards for $29 for those who are not paid members. Grand Rising, Colleen. Oh, yeah, it is Tuesday. You know their schedule better than I do, Nicole. Good to see you, dear. Yeah, chasing. Don't touch my precious. I'll cut you. Yeah, I see red when I think of my Scorpio father. Sending you support, Ella. Absolutely. This week, anyway. It's so weird when it happens with my sister and me, and my sister and I don't get along. It's complicated. It is complicated. Yep. Everybody I like how everybody, all the Scorpios in the chat are like, it's complicated. Oh, you've jinxed someone 3 times in the last week. That's wild. I told you a lot of synchronicities this week, Avatar. Yeah, love your life. Absolutely. Nikki, with my Scorpio moon, I totally feel that. I'm like, yeah, I hate them right now, but they're no one else. No, but no one else touched them. Exactly. It's different. Yeah, it's different. Yeah, it's different. It can't get it's very unique to those with Scorpio placements. Mm-hmm. You're so welcome. Nikki, God, this is so much my mom. She is such in that way, fighting the good fight when she sees something unfair. Well, that's a good quality. And Cassandra, thank you for sharing the live. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I feel as though Virgo and Leo are always heavy. It's not that they're always heavy. I'll point out, I feel like this energy recently has been very heavy for Leo and Scorpio placements, right? And there's a couple of different reasons for that. And again, like the one thing I'll point this out. There is a very deep similarity between Leos and Virgos. And when I say this, like the Leos and Virgos will share, like they'll nod their head. And the words I'm going to say is what do feelings have to do with it? Right? Like because it's working into, right? Like it's working through often those two signs work very hard in managing their feelings, right? So you'll often see you'll often see Leos and Virgos like working through the space of emotions when it feels like another person is trying to articulate feelings beyond reason. Leos and Virgos don't navigate unreasonable feelings. They'll like you can go to a Cancer for that. Like you can go to a Cancer for that, or a Pisces, but not a Leo and a Virgo, right? Like you'll go up to a Leo and a Virgo with feelings that don't make sense, and Leo will be like you're like Leos and Virgos will be like you're being unreasonable with those feelings, you know. So and you have to understand, like a lot of the sign work that we see is dealing with a lot of unreasonable feelings right now. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the Spite Palace is fun. Absolutely. I like the fact that you guys are teaching each other new vernacular in the chat space. That's lovely. Okay. Yeah, I know. But here's the I don't like the funny part about it is like I don't see anything right now about Leos being dramatic, right? Like I don't feel like the thing about it is I actually feel like Leos probably feel like the energy around them is being dramatic, and that's what's getting the Leo so frustrated, you know? Yeah, lots of pentacle energy goes with your dream. Oh, does it? That's fascinating, Nicole. Yeah, I was about to say that. We have to make traumas fun somehow. Yeah, that's what I was seeing, Nicole. That's funny. Yeah, I'll look it up after the show. My show's on. Oh, I appreciate that, Nikki. Maddie, I'm sending you so much support on that journey. Um, I will point out something that sensitive. I don't think I would be comfortable talking about in a public space. Like that would be something that if we were kind of working through that energy, I would prefer to navigate in a private reading. You know, that like there's something important like when we're dealing with heavy energy in that way. And I'm sending you so much support on that journey. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're a Leo too. Okay. Sending you, yep. Yeah, I can't always be around to monitor honorability. And here's the thing, Leos don't feel like they should have to, right? Like that's the thing with Leos being like you're like Leos will be very at like if something needs to be it can only be honorable if your presence is involved, then that's often that that's often the space by which Leos like that when Leo sees that, like Leo can't stay in certain locations because that it doesn't like what does that say for the energy there? You know? Yeah. Hi there, Grand Rising Minnie. Hi there, Mia. Your partner's a Gemini. Thank you for confirming, Minnie. Yeah, Virgo was very heavy. Booked and busy. Hi there, creative. Grand Rising, Heather. Melinda, thank you for the follow. Thank you for those gifts, Heather. How you doing, Ivana? Hi there, Empress Moon. Yeah, Leo Virgo, here we go. Absolutely. Yeah, all pentacles again, my dream, both earth signs, and I have all pentacles. Oh, I can't wait. Are we doing a dream interpretation today, Nicole? Taurus usually has a decent relationship with Mars. So the way it often works is, in my experience, when I read into Taurus, the longer that they're here, the more they heal the relationship, right? Like the longer that they're here. It's often here as well with Uranus, right? There's certain signs that can be a little bit more harsh or harder to deal with. So like when Mars is moving through Taurus, it can sometimes feel like they're seeing red flags everywhere and they're trying not to get upset about it. Yeah. Taurus North Node, so much going on, one moment at a time. Yeah, just continue to navigate things in a patient way. Thank you for those hashtags, Nicole. As a rising Taurus, it's interesting. My Virgo moon has all pentacles in both. That's interesting. Yeah, so many pentacles. I still haven't found my necklace in the dream space. Oh, yeah, the necklace dream. Love that. Thank you, Sparkles. I like Per going Aries. Let's go. Oh wait. Oh no. Yeah. Good Lord. My Aries Sun and Rising. Yeah. Saturn and Aries. I'm super organized. Does that count? Yep. Aries. I mean, I don't think Aries are scary, but the thing about it is, they're like certain signs find Aries intimidating, and certain signs don't. Right? And Aries can be scary if they like Aries work not to be scary, right? Like Aries often have to like work through like the space by which they understand their muchness. Yeah. That napkin was right where I wanted it to be exactly. Yeah, nah, folks think I have it all under control, so no. Yeah, the unhealed ones for sure are chaotic, off the wall. But the healed one, no, but this is what I mean. Like those, like when you see the oh, like the more healed Aries, like that's why they move into warrior mode, right? Where it's like they actually start building into trying to help others with this, like because they know how hard it is. Oh, I don't know that. I don't know that reference, Bridget. You'll have to post it on the disco. Very true. No helpful favors. I have my own chaos order system. Mm-hmm. Hi there, Dada. Good to see you today. Yeah, Aries don't do patience. Gosh, I used to be so upset when my mom cleaned my room without permission. Yeah, it's like that. I'm Aries South Node and Saturn, and I scare myself sometimes. That's amazing, Nikki. Yeah, not once, but twice. Yeah. Yeah, not even messy, but not clean enough in her eyes. Collect my dragon breath. I love that. SLKR, thank you for the follow. Yeah, great reminder. Your ex once redecorated your. Who would do that? They redecorated? Wait, without asking you? Like they moved furniture 5 times. Oh my god, Avatar. Yeah, I tried to rewind back and watch Virgo and Libra, but I couldn't find it. So I will point out, at Mini, we had a the feed on the tube crashed. So let me post it up. Hold on a minute. I got you. It should be coming. It should be posting up right now on Stack shortly. If you want to find the full video, so it should be going up shortly. But unfortunately, because the tube crashed, we might have lost some of the signs over there when we were streaming live before it did so. But it'll be up. It'll be up. The feed, like the whole feed is coming up through the Stack and over on Spot as a podcast. Yeah, was thinking more of dragon energy. You're so welcome, Ro. Ivana, I got you. Good to see you, dear. Potato. Yep. Potato. I know. Absolutely. Yep, I got you. I got it. We're in good shape, Bridget. I'll be sending that later once I get off. Okay. Yes, without asking. You were busy the whole day trying to find and going back. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like that's just I can't even find words for that. That's not okay. Hi there, Ireland. How you doing? Hi there, Josh. Cancer will expand on it indefinitely, good, bad, or indifferent. What are you speaking upon specifically in terms of that, Joshua? Are you talking about like yeah, like if you're talking about um like illogical feelings, yeah, like that's what, like there's certain signs that can kind of help someone dwell in the space of navigating an illogical feeling. Leos and Virgos are not good with them. It's really and that's the hard part about it. Like you'll literally see somebody that'll have a get over wound from like a Leo or a Virgo, which is someone will be like, I was telling them I was upset, and they'll basically they'll be like, why aren't you talking to them? And they'll be like, because the Leo or the Virgo said to someone in some way, shape, or form, get over it. But what often happens in those experiences is the or the Virgo is articulating to another, like, you don't have a right to feel that way, right? And that's because Leos and Virgos are perpetually checking their emotions before they give them to others. So it can sometimes create the space by which they can be a little overly harsh when that's occurring, right? Because they get like Leos and Virgos will get caught on the logic of it instead of the fact that another person's hurting. They'll be like, but that feeling doesn't make any sense. That feeling doesn't make any sense. Like, why are you crying? And they'll be like, I'm sad. And be like, why are you sad? Be like, something dumb happened. Be like, well, that feeling doesn't make any sense. You should stop doing that. And they mean it. That's the worst part about it. Like Virgos and Leos mean it genuinely. And they think that if they explain to someone, like Leos and Virgos deeply feel like if they explain to someone that they're being silly. And often it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. You know? It's like it just never doesn't help. Right? But it's true. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. And then and what do you see? You'll literally see a Virgo and Leo going, what did I do? Right? Like, what did I do? And they'll be like, what did you do? And you're like, I tried to tell them that the feeling they had was dumb. But that's them putting their full compassion on it. They're like, but I made a PowerPoint presentation. I had charts and graphs. Like, it's all here. I thought it would help. Yep. Hi there, Laurel. Good to see you, dear. Yeah, it's hilarious. Oh, how you doing, game? How you doing? Absolutely. Welcome, official. I would be very honored to become a grandmother, Thomas. It's not really a negative thing that you're saying to me. And I'm not a baker. My partner's a great baker. All right, where are we? Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Oh, this is my mom and I. Yeah, so you guys are probably like that. Yeah. Leo, Virgo. And that's the thing about it, right? Like it's not the fact like Leos and Virgos will literally be there with someone with big feelings, but the big feelings have to be reasonable, right? Like that's the thing about it. Like when someone's deep in their feelings and the feelings are reasonable, like Virgo and Leo, like they will stay with you, right? They will stay with you all night. They'll do whatever it takes to help you through a real feeling. But the hard part about it with the Leo and Virgo is if they see a big feeling that doesn't make any sense, they apply the healing by trying to explain to someone how ridiculous they're being. And it never usually works out well, right? It never, it never usually works out well. Because they'll be like, but like, oh, I've got some good news for you. You're being ridiculous. You're being ridiculous. You're welcome. Come back tomorrow. Yep, we'll be here. Thank you. Hmm. Hi there, Martez. Thank you for that gift. And Agibe, thank you for the follow. If I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, by all means, please feel free to correct me. Mm-hmm. Ooh, I'm with you, Avatar. Yeah, I like a sweet potato. Yep, I'm right there with you. And not wide open field with non-flammable plant life. I like that. Oh, as a Taurus rising, I love all forms of potatoes. I don't discriminate. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Oh, are they in the chat here? I must have missed somebody. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm having nachos. Ooh. Yeah, I'm with you, Nicole. I'm right there with the pasta. All shapes and sizes, but I'm a Sag Scorpio. That's fair chasing. Yeah, gotta do it. Absolutely. That's so true. I'm like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, my ex was a Cancer Sun, Sag. I don't know why I ever thought that would work. Yeah, you see, that's the problem with it. And like I gotta tell you, what will often break a Leo Cancer relationship is that Cancers will be sitting there with the most unreasonable feeling, right? And the thing about it is Cancers know. right? Cancers know that a feeling that they may have is unreasonable, right? But like that, like that'll sometimes like that'll sometimes be the defining breaking point between, like, the breaking point that will often happen between a Leo and Cancer is the space by which a Cancer says, I know I'm being unreasonable, but can you carry it anyway? And a Leo will say no, right? Because the Leo is saying, because that's a Leo that says, that doesn't want to, that doesn't want to condone, right? That says, like, I can't do that, because it's a Leo that says, like, the ability to help another person, right, work through something. Leos can't condone unreasonable feelings. So it can be very difficult for a Leo Cancer relationship, because there'll inevitably be a point that can often be reached where the Cancer will be working through something in an unreasonable way, and the Leo will say, I just can't take this, right? Yep, I got you, Bridget. Why is the Libra the only non? Oh, it's a good question. Well, I mean, so the quality of, there's something to be said about whether Aquarius is also a non-being, like these are often, we often see the scales, but we talk about the water bearer. The water bearer is more often than not the person bearing the water so much as the energetic vessel of the water. So there couldn't be an argument made that technically Aquarius is also a non-being sign work, because it works upon the quality of moving or calibrating energy. So both Libras and Aquarians are calibrators. So that's one of the reasons that we see the fact that they're often not humanized, but we find them energized, if that makes sense. That's my opinion on it, Brazo. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's interesting you say that, Thomas, because I sometimes feel like one of the defining qualities of Leos is they have a lot of golden retriever energy. They're very, like, I feel like that's often the association that you can draw upon them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep. Absolutely, Minnie. Yeah, they thought who would possibly feel like they were doing you a favor by doing that without asking. Like that's wild, Per. That's absolutely wild. Leo can I mean, like, Leo Cancer rising. I mean, like, are you talking about Leo Sun Cancer Moon, like, Leo Sun Cancer rising? I mean, that's dream chaser energy, right? That's keeping the dream alive. Hi there, Laurel. Feeling a bit low today. I'm glad to help. I'm glad to hear that something here might be helping you energetically. I get in trouble for that a lot. Thank you for confirming, Nikki. I'm like, that doesn't make sense for you to be feeling that. And that, like, that's like, again, and that's the funny thing about it. Like, Leos and Virgos say it like they're very, like, they get relieved. They're like, oh my gosh, no, I've got some good news for you. No, 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 that's ridiculous. You shouldn't feel that way. And, like, Leos are like, you're welcome, because that's what they do to themselves every single day, right? Leos will literally walk themselves out of a bad feeling, much like Virgos, because they'll be like, that like I like it's like Leos, like, the reason they do that, Leos and Virgos will be the first one to recognize if they're being ridiculous, right? Yeah, or Leo Cancer rising with Virgo stellium, absolutely. Yeah, thank you so much. You're so welcome, dear. Thank you for letting us know where you are so we can support you. Yeah, my face will say it exactly. Yeah, I know. It's like Taurus. I mean, this can be also an issue with a Taurus and a Leo connection as well. Because, like, here's the thing, like, Taurus like to brood, right? And when Taurus are brooding, they like to be in a mood. You can't like good luck, like good like I like to point out like my perfect definition. You want my perfect definition of what it's like when a Taurus is brooding and a Leo is trying to get them out of a bad mood? Do you remember Never Ending Story? Remember Artax? You have to move. That's what it feels like. It doesn't feel like that for the Taurus, but that's what it feels like for the Leo, right? Because you don't understand. That's literally what it feels like for a Leo to try to be pulling a Taurus out of a bad mood. Okay? Artax! If you don't move. Yeah, I got told often I'm harsh or abrasive, but I'm really not. I have a high emotional intelligence and my silence. Exactly. Hmm. People say Geminis have split personalities. Not necessarily. I mean, it depends on the Gemini. The thing about Geminis is they move through things much quicker than others do. Right? There's a Gemini going through like 15 different feelings in an hour, and one person's just sitting with a thought. So sometimes it's the speed by which Geminis are processing that others can experience as something that feels very like changing. But again, the more that the Gemini understands the self, the more that they embrace their authenticity, the less that a Gemini seems to appear that way, right? And they move a healthy Gemini will move from being chaotic to eclectic, right? Yeah. I think you need to ask yourself why you feel the need to try to engender that. What kind of reaction were you expecting from that, HK? Are you running under the assumption that anything you see here is for your appeal? Absolutely. Hi there, Team Osana. How you doing today? Yeah, absolutely. Totally understand, Nicole. They know they process incredibly quickly. I think that's the hard part about it, right? Because like it's very frustrating. Like that's why when you see two Geminis connecting, like Geminis often connect with other Geminis because like it's like rapid fire. Trying to keep up with two Geminis talking, like it can sometimes feel like you're missing because they're already they're running after each other. Yeah, this is so funny. I'm more in the Aries in this area. Thank goodness. Glad to hear that, Bridget. And our Henri, thank you for the follow. And thank you, Henri, for becoming the 91st member of my fan club. I care for a Gemini sun with a Taurus moon. That's actually a really lovely connection because you have to understand like the Taurus moon is going to really heavily ground the Gemini energy, right? That's like a Gemini with really healthy grounding. Yep, you're so welcome. Glad to hear it, Team Osana. Yeah, there's nothing going to break my stride. Exactly. Excellent. All right, let's continue right now. So we are going to get started. I'm going to point this out. There's all these individuals. You know, I look forward to the day that I get to be a grandmother. And I think that there's nothing more wrong or negative in this world. Like we can see how sick this world is in the context of individuals that approach others that they don't know, and they use the word grandmother in a way that they try to identify that something about that word is derisive or derogatory. Do you see how sick that is? It's sick twice because not only is it negative to the quality and condition of feminine energy, but you try to articulate the fact that feminine energy becomes more beautiful as it ages, becomes more wise. that that the feminine energy is that we are one of the only beings that go through a menopause point, specifically and particularly because the feminine energy is so sacred that by our very nature, we found a way to energetically perpetuate it. And the sickness that arrives in a culture and in individuals, that you can see how unhealed one's relationship to feminine is in the context by which you articulate the word grandmother, and you anticipate and expect that I or another person would be in any way, shape, or form wounded by it instead of honored by it. So I appreciate the honor, but I do question whether you meant to deliver it to me in that way. And if you haven't, then I think that you might need to take some time to do a little internal questioning as to where all that hatred towards femininity came from. Thank you so much for having that conversation with me, HK. All right. Absolutely. Let's get to it. How you doing today, Jet Set? It's wild, isn't it? Thank you. No, it does. Makes you wonder the quality by which they do treat the older feminine energy in their life. Truly. All right, let's get to it. We're going to get started. The first person we're reading for today is, or if there's any present, Ivana. If you could let me know if we're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. And if anybody else wants to get on the list for today, it's a lovely time to get on the list. You will be the sixth person read for. It's 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Binks in my Lio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I don't read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We're also doing a giveaway today. When we get to 50K likes, I'll be gifting a reading back to the collective. So make sure you're tapping that screen and we'll get to 50K in no time. If you are a super fan, welcome. You're also invited to join our super fan only disco channel. When you have a dream that you would like interpreted, you can post it there or you can post it in the notes when you send the donation. All right, let's get to it. We are going to get started right now on Ivana's read. But before we begin Ivana's read, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal oracle cards here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the sow. We will do that again after the next reading. All right. Shadow work animal? What does that mean, Per? What does that mean? All right, let's get to it. And before we continue right now, you got it. Bridget got it. Well done, Bridget. Heck yeah. All right. You're the second creator talking about the human uniqueness of menopause and the wisdom that comes. Oh, I'm so glad that it's moving through the collective right now. All right, let's get to it. Excellent. And where'd my Ivana go? Where'd you go? There we are. All right, guys, I'm going to pin up Ivana here. Make sure to give Ivana some love. Is this inside tea or outside tea, Ivana? And you know what we're going to do whenever we have a dream interpretation? Let's bust out the dream coconut. Dreamed that my husband told me his ex-girlfriend had messaged him saying that she missed him and wanted to know if he was interested in getting back together. I was upset, but something didn't make sense to me. I went to an old house and there was a small tunnel that I walked through. Once I got there, I started crying. I decided to look for his ex-girlfriend, and suddenly she appeared in that old house. Supposedly, she was looking for me too. She started apologizing, explaining that she had already moved on with her life, but that she did miss him as well and never thought he would message her. She told me that she had received a message from my husband. Now she was telling me the story from the opposite perspective. She showed me her phone and all the text messages where he said he missed her, wanted her back, and was planning to leave me. However, since we were still together, he wanted to meet up with her in secret. She also started crying, and we hugged. Then we left the old house, sat on the sidewalk, and continued talking. As we talked, I kept trying to understand why he would do something like that. She already had children, and I had never felt that anything was wrong between us. I couldn't understand why he chose to leave when we had so many plans together. Then she took me to her job. She sold pencils or something similar. Her workplace looked like a pink castle, and I stayed there for a while. I was so furious that I had to go back and find my husband. My mom and brother were at home as well. I started screaming at him, asking why the 10 years we had spent together were a waste if he was going to end up doing what he did. I started throwing pencils at him and punching him in the face. Then he admitted that he no longer wanted to be with me and that he wanted to go back to his ex girlfriend. I was furious. After that, all I remember is saying, "So is that why my baby will have blue eyes? Because it won't be with him." And then I woke up. Can I get 4 cards, please? And thank you for being first on the list today. You'll have 5. So we're going to start this by, it's clearly a shadow work dream. And what often happens in shadow work dreams is shadow work dreams come in the form of energy that we least expect and anticipate it from. And the reason that the guides put shadow work in the most shocking of guises is to help us realize the full impact of what we've already experienced. There's nothing that we can experience in a dream that we haven't already felt or known. So when you understand that we're looking through this dream from the perspective of being able to heal something, and further, that it's coming in the form of your husband because it is so antithetical as to who you know them to be or how they themselves would move or do something, then we understand that through that visage you're going to be able to get a better sense of something that has already energetically occurred. So, with that framework in mind, let's return back to what we see in the dream space. We see that you have a point of your partner and their ex. Your partner articulating to you that an ex messaged, and they said that they missed them and wanted to know if they were interested in getting back together. And you said that you were upset because that didn't make sense. Now, the acknowledgement point in terms of recognizing or identifying why it didn't make sense is working through the fact that you recognize that your current partner would never say or do anything that they know would energetically distress or harm you, right? That the modality by which that potentially occurred, and there wouldn't be any need to effectively articulate that to you, particularly and especially if they knew they would have a bad effect on you, right? This is the observation that immediately brings you to an old house, because you real like, I want to point this out. The relationship between you and your partner is so healthy that you disbelieved. You immediately, the guides tried to do it, and you immediately disbelieved in the illusion of it. You immediately disbelieved that it was occurring because it felt so antithetical for who you knew someone to be. That's why you were moved to the old house, because that was you acknowledging that this wasn't coming in the form of your partner, but this is something that actually happened in an old relationship. So you find yourself in the old house, and what are you doing there? You're moving through a small tunnel that you walk through. So this is talking about a past relationship with someone who only told you things to affect your view, right? Someone that wasn't giving you the full information, but just telling you what they needed to in order to get you where they wanted you to be. And that's why you were moving through that tunnel. And in the tunnel, what did you find? You found an ex-girlfriend, and they appeared in the old house, and they were looking for you too. And they started apologizing, explaining that she had already moved on with her life, but that she did miss him as well and never thought he would message her. And she told you that she received a message from your husband and that she was telling the story from the opposite perspective. She showed you their phone and all the messages where they said that they missed her and wanted her back and was planning to leave. However, you guys were still together, and he wanted to meet up with her in secret. And she also started crying, and we hugged. The reason you started crying is because you recognize that how twisted the old relationship was. Because the old house is the person who was allowing you the information that they wanted in order to get you somewhere. So the reason that you both started crying and holding each other was potentially having healed from a relationship with someone who is very twisted, who actually let you know, right? Who informed you of the fact that they were still energetically interested, right? That another person was interested in them with the expectation that you would fight for them, right? It wasn't a battle. It was someone who was trying to create a match between you and their ex to see who would fight for them the most, right? And that observation, the reason that you both started crying and hugging, was the mutual observation of you both being good and understanding a good relationship dynamic and recognizing that you were both mortified because healthy people would never fight for someone who gets excited by seeing others fight for them, recognizing the energetic pain that another person is experiencing, rather than that, like in the space by which all they see is the excitement that multiple energies are interested in them. And that's why you can't have a healthy relationship with someone like that, because they're always looking for someone who's next, right? It's a relationship by which you never feel healthy, because you always understand that they're constantly going to be in a space by which they're making you feel less like you're in a relationship and more like a battle to see who's willing, right? Who's willing to lower their standards the most in order to perpetuate a relationship with them. And so this is why you both started crying, because not only did you understand that that quality was happening, but the fact that it wasn't just you energetically on the line, that both of you were effectively, that they were also in the space of being a caretaker. And you can't do that with an energetic caretaker, because they know what it means. They know what it looks like when another person is caring for them rather than trying to see what another person will do for them, right? So that's why you said that you energetically left, and then you started having so many plans together because you recognized that you both escaped from a very sick person. And this is why you saw that she took you to her job and you saw that she sold pencils or something similar. And you said the workplace looked like a pink castle because what you're really identifying there is somebody, right? Someone who does their homework, right? And again, the fact that it's a pink castle is somebody who's healed their intimacy wounds. So when someone has healed their intimacy wounds, they're basically in the pink castle because it's a space by which you can't, right? You can't say to somebody, what are you going to do for me? Because you're going to say nothing because I care about myself, right? Like, you care about myself. Like someone goes, aren't you? What are you going to do to prove you like me? Absolutely nothing. Like absolutely nothing. What is wrong with you, right? Like relationships are not acts of debasement, right? But somebody who, again, the haunted house of a relationship, what will an unhealthy relationship say? Get into the debasement, debase yourself for me, show me how desperate you can be. But this is somebody who that was never going to work on because you had respect for them, right? Because they didn't try to fight you in the old house, they revealed to you. They said they're doing the same exact thing to me, let's get out of here, right? So that's the understanding of recognizing the power of healthy energy. Even as someone is trying to do something, right? Something to effectively deplore, right? What did you guys do in that space? You fixed each other's crowns and you got out of there, right? You fixed each other's crowns and said, what are we doing here? We got to go. And so that was you effectively moving away from that circumstance or situation. And this is why you said she sold pencils, right? Because pencils are identifying the space of a desiring, right? Giving each other tools. A pencil is something you need in order to communicate. So somebody who is good with communication and who also you recognize had a pink castle, which means they had a lot of self-respect for themselves and they'd healed their intimacy wounds. And when you heal your intimacy wounds, you know your worth and you're not going to debase yourself if you live in a pink castle because it's just based by what you say. I don't have to do that. I care about myself. I'm not going to do that for you. I love myself too much to do that. You're nuts. Then you said you were furious. You were furious because you had to go back to that person. This isn't your husband. This is a past relationship, right? And you said your mom and your brother were at that home as well. So it's the observation of someone who effectively embarrassed you, right? Because it's the embarrassment of navigating a situation by which someone would put you in that situation and recognizing that the space by which, I don't know if there was something that was resulting by which you felt like there was some kind of familial connection that made it hard to untangle. But the fact by which another person got heavily, right? Somebody who got heavily invested in your own life before they did something like that to you is why you feel like you're carrying a wound there because it feels like it's the complication of having not being, it's very hard to say to somebody, like have to say to family what happened there and you being like, oh, well, they wanted me to fight for them, right? They wanted to reveal to me that they were potentially interested in someone to see what I would do. So that's why you said you started screaming at them and you asked them why 10 years had been spent together were a waste and if they were going to end up doing what he did, because this is you recognizing that you're still carrying those wounds. And now we've moved back into the present relationship. So potentially experiences by which you feel energetically triggered that make you worry that that is happening again, right? So the occasional space by which you said you started screaming at them and asking why they would end up doing, and I want to point this out, right? You wrote, and you showed me that you were doing this, right? Because you wrote asking why the 10 years we had spent together were a waste if he was going to end up doing what he did. Do you see what you wrote? You revealed yourself. You revealed that that was happening even in the space by which you wrote it. You wrote if he was going to end up doing what he did. So the anxiety of potentially having moments by which you start to feel worried that that is history, energy, that history is going to energetically repeat itself. And you started throwing pencils at him and punching them in the face, because this is often what happens when we carry the wounds of past connection into relationship, right? The anxiety, the anxiety that sometimes like occurs to us in the fear that old trauma is resurfacing in the form of present partnership. So potentially feeling very protective in moments where it feels like that's occurring. And then we see, and this is the guides coming, now the guides are able to work through it again, right? Now we see the guides helping you to heal from that old wound, because you could never heal with that other person, right? This is now your present counterpart embodying the past person, so that you can release a lot of that grief in the dream space. Because what do we see that your current counterparts doing in the dream space? They embody the conversation that you are never able to have with them. I bet you never got clarity on this. I bet this was a situation by which when you tried to bring this to another person's attention, they disappeared, right? They probably disappeared without a trace. You could not contact them. You could not reach them. They probably just completely locked down. So what do we see that's happening here? You're now having, the guides are allowing you to work through the conversation that would have allowed you to get over something better, right? And it's coming in the form of your husband, who would never do that. And what are they saying to you in the dream space? They're admitting, right? They're just coming out and saying it. They're coming out and just saying that they didn't want to be with you and that they wanted to go back to the ex-girlfriend, because that would have been easier. That would have been easier to heal than the horrific understanding of someone who was saying, let's see who wins, right? It would have been easier to hear. It would have been easier to heal if another person could have just said that they didn't want that, but that's not what they wanted, right? They didn't want that ex person. They wanted to see who would debase themselves more for them. That's how sick that past energy was. So the space by which the guide, even even in the shadow work, even in the shadow work, right? Even in the shadow work, they can't bring themselves to fully reveal that. And the state or nature, right? The state or nature by which you were furious, and all you said, that what you said to them, this is why my child will have blue eyes, because it won't be with him when you woke up. You have to understand, I would not be surprised if that past relationship triggered a healing journey that led you to a guide. I would not be surprised if that healing journey, if your healing journey was triggered by that relationship that led you to a guide, because that identification point that we've identified, right? That is not a characteristic, that's a lineage, right? That was you literally saying, you foolish fool, you tried to hurt me and you triggered an awakening, and now I know my lineage. That is what you're like, you foolish fool, you foolish fool. All you did, right? You were trying to have two women battle for you, right? And all you did was trigger an awakening that helped me remember my lineage, right? That's you having that conversation with them, in terms of saying, like, that's all you ended up doing, because it was the space by which you potentially, and this is the healing on it, you potentially felt internally that something that you found was the fact that this person was trying to triangulate you, right? Bottom of the deck, recognizing the healing that occurs when we feel that another person is trying to utilize a relationship with us to make another person jealous, right? That's the wound that you're carrying. You're carrying the wound of triangulation. So the space by which you thought that you and another person were on the same page, but having to go through an experience where you recognized that another person wasn't potentially with you out of the fact that they deeply desired to, but rather out of the hope of making another person jealous, and even understanding the fact of having deep respect for that person, because that person did not create those conditions, right? They were experiencing them also. And that's repulsive. Like, that's a repulsive thing to do in any context, right? That's just a repulsive person that does something like that. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list is open. It is 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as it was reading. Also, if there's anyone joining us on the place where we keep the videos who would like to get on the list, all you need to do is send a donation via my tree that is Binks in it, my bio. You can be added to the list as well. Thank you, John, for the follow. Thank you for sharing the live, C. Winning. Good job, Bridget. It's crazy that feminine is taught to be embarrassed or ashamed of theirs. But yeah, it's insane. It's absolutely insane, right? But that's again, that's a lot of the feminine healing and recognizing that femininity is not found in appeal. It's intrinsic, something to be celebrated. Exactly. Holy shadow work indeed. Yeah, baby with the blue eyes is my curiosity. I knew that would be your curiosity point for her. But that's them. They're the baby with the blue eyes in the dream, right? I know. I was like, what the heck? Thank you for those oranges, Henri. Thank you for confirmation and Ivana and Nut. Real shady here in the shadow. Exactly. Sheesh. Sounds a lot like my ex in real life. Sending you support, Nicole. I never meant to start a war battlefield. Yes, this is so spot on. Accurate. Yeah, calling you, it was unhealed as well. I just hear the Mission Impossible song. Yeah, they love to stir the pot to see who will fight for them. Exactly. Yeah, the most beautiful part of the dream was fixing each other's crowns, right? Just getting out of there together. Yeah, they'll live a lonely life. I mean, energy like that is never satisfied, right? Because everybody, and like there's no healthy relationship, right? Every relationship is to see like what like they're always constantly upping the ante on who will debase themselves more. Hi there, Nicole. I don't Excellent. Thank you for being here. I don't want to be embarrassed again. Exactly, Nikki. Yeah, pencils you bought to support the small business. I see you. Yeah. And thank you again for the follow, John. Nope, none. So no closure. Yeah, I pick up on some weird details, but they speak loud. Yeah, this reading is for me too. Whoever I'm sending support to you on this. Thank you for also receiving these messages, Glam. It's crazy and it is draining. Absolutely. And sending you support as you work to heal from that, dear. Thank you, Chasing. Excellent. We're going to continue right now. How are you doing today, Soul Empath? Good to see you. And hi there, Tinarius. Hi there, Floyd. I know the energy is a little heavy right now for some of the sign work. Just make sure that you're focusing and prioritizing on self-care. It's okay, Soul. You don't need to have money here to stay. That's why we call these donation readings, because sometimes the guides like to deliver messages on top of each other. So sometimes the message that one person is able to afford, another person desperately needs. Hi, thank you for subscribing, Ruby. I appreciate you. You now have the discount for a full reading, and you also are entitled to a free 1 card each day. Important to heal, even if you are in relationships. I've been so much in the past. This resonates. Thank you so much, Soul Empath, for also receiving this message. You're doing art while you listen. That makes me so happy, Chasing. How you doing today, Chris? Ivana, thank you for those lightning bolts. Grand Rising Unique, good to see you today. Absolutely. And thank you, Lisa, for the follow. Excellent. Next person we're reading for today is Stella. Stella, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. Ruby, We've already finished the collective read today. We did tarot astrology. Unfortunately, the tube crashed during the reading, so not all of the signs were recorded. However, if you want to head over to the stack, my stack, or over on Spotify, the full astrology signs should be available now for anyone who needs them. Thank you for confirming you sent an email, Stella. And before we continue right now, just a reminder, if you'd like to get on the list is open. 3 cards for a donation of 29 or more. 4 cards for a donation of 23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. We read for here highest priority messages from spirit, life path, angelic, dream interpretation, past life mediumship, love readings, pet readings, animal spirit guide, akashic, mind, body, spirit, love, aura, and symbol and signal decoding. Happy to read the list. The list I have. Nicole, did you? I've got the list we've got is Stella, Stella, Litha, Nicole, and Per. And if anybody else gets on the list right now, you'll be the 5th person read for. And before we continue right now, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. Sully, thank you for the follow. I've got the animal oracle card here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We've got the wolf. We'll do that again after the next reading. Okay. And just bear with me a moment as I pull up Stella's question. Well, I'm glad to hear I was I'm glad to hear I was correct. Just bear with me a moment. Okay. What are you currently doing to turn a negative into a positive? All right, let me just read over this. Four cards, please. I just keep on seeing the same situation. Um, I see other papers being drafted. They're not related to you. It feels like somebody, it feels like I just keep on feeling like it feels to me like someone who, I keep on hearing conversation by which another person, and this is the thing that often happens in the difference between understanding what's energetically important, and it has to do with the shape and nature of a cause. Like, when others don't understand what it means to have a cause, they often assume that another person will shed a cause because there's fear involved. And those who are part of causes understand that fear, that fear is not something that averts one's direction, right? And I wanted the best way I can describe this is when another person, like I told you, this is an energy that's in a relationship with someone that puts all of their import on appearances. So I want you to understand that when somebody puts all of their import on appearances, that's literally the sound of someone who is terrified at every moment. Can you imagine? Can you imagine an existence by which all you're doing at every moment is making a choice that's best for appearances? So I see a situation by which another person kept on insisting that they would know what you did, that they know that they would know, they knew what you would do. And another person trying to get through to them that they knew you better than they did. And the reason, and I literally see that this conversation is leading to the ending of a relationship, because it says to me like they actually came forth and said to them, you do everything out of fear, and they're fearless. You do everything out of fear. You make your choices worried about what other people are going to say about them. That person does not care, does not give a lick about what anybody has to say because they have a cause. And the word cause, right? The understanding of cause was the observation of another person that said, you cannot go in there, right? Like literally. And somebody being like, oh, no, 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 right? They're going to be energetically desperate. And another person was trying to say to them continually, there's nothing, there's only one person desperate here. And the desperation point, like I feel like they're pointing the desperate finger to the counterpart and saying, you are perceiving that they're going to make a desperate choice because you are always desperate. And something about that conversation, I just keep on hearing some things can't be taken back. Some things once said, some things once said can never be unspoken. And so I literally see a situation by which another person was insisting on them doing something, and they stunned them into silence. They stunned them into silence. And I feel like they stunned them into silence because they told them everything that happened that night. They stunned them into silence by telling them they told them everything that happened that night. They know everything now. They know all the details. I just keep on seeing it. That was how they got them. That's how they got them to back down. That's how they got them to back down. They told them everything. And now they're saying, "Do you see why we can't go in there?" And now the relationship can't take it back. Can't unsay it. That was the only thing. That was the only thing. Right? What just happened, their counterpart only gave them two ways that they could go. Their counterpart only gave them two ways that they could go. And I keep on seeing them say, if there's nothing to fear, then there's no reason not to go. If there's nothing to fear, then there's no reason not to go. If there's nothing to fear, then there's no reason not to go. And they said, wait. They said, wait, I have to tell you something. They said, wait, I have to tell you. So this is why everything stopped. There's different papers being drafted. There's different papers being drafted. They're on the same page now. Look at these cards. Same cards. Now they've gotten the counterpart. The counterpart wanted to know exactly what happened. They forced their hand to that direction, and they were insisting that you were going to back down, because this whole time they've been telling them that you've been making something up. And they literally said, if they've been making something up, this is our chance to energetically clear it. If they've been making it up, this is our chance to energetically clear it. If they've been making it up, this is our energetic chance to clear it. And they were on the brink of going in, and they said, wait, I need to tell you something. And now everything's on the table. Something is changing. And I feel like they found the satisfaction that they wanted, because now they understand why. Now they understand why you've been so upset. Now they understand the full scope of what has been impelling you. Thank you so much for having this reading with me. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you'd like to get on the list is open. It's 3 cards for a donation of $29 or more, 4 cards for a donation of $23 or more for my subscribers. Links in my bio. Please keep in mind, there are 3 things I do not read for across these apps: pregnancy, medical, and legal. Happy to give insight on anything in private readings, and you can book private readings on my site. If you post non sequiturs, it will get you muted from the chat space on the place where we keep the videos. Thank you. Just reading over the comments that came through. This is the collective read has already been done, dear. Absolutely. And Katrin, thank you for the follow. Denise, thank you. I've got you on the list as well. Okay. And Love and Roses, thank you for the follow. Sully, thank you for the follow as well. I'll confirm your spot on the list, Denise. Thank you for letting me know. Thank you for the compliment, Glam. Yeah, the wolf is the intuition check. Finding little things to laugh about or find joy in daily life. Absolutely. I love that. No negatives to flip into positives. I like that, Bridget, even more. Working in liminal space, sending you support for her. Choosing things that make me happy and going slower. I love that, Chasing. Huddling up together by the AC, going to the pool instead of being hot and miserable. Love that too, Minnie. Yep. Okay. Young Healer, thank you for the follow. Yep. Yeah, you're fearless. That would be perfect. And thank you. Is it him saying he knows better? Yeah, this energy is gross. Why did he tell you to? Because I keep on seeing the argument kept on hitting an impasse. The argument kept on hitting an impasse and another person saying, if it's the way that you said it was, we have nothing to fear. If it's the way that you said it was, we have nothing to fear. And somebody says, now you see me clearly. Now you see me clearly. Yeah. Yeah, I do feel like your angels visited them. Very visual person. So that was fully really funny because I'm visually visualizing oily energies now. Yeah. Yeah. It feels like different. I just keep on hearing different papers now. No, she sees him now. She thought she saw him before, but she sees him fully now because now he hasn't spared her any details. Now he hasn't spared her any details. Yeah, we just soul empath. We just had the new moon, so it can be feeling like. I mean, I feel like the Gemini reading that we did today was very positive, but there's a lot going on for Gemini. It's just making sure that you're like not exhausting yourselves. Philip, I need to point out, coming in here and making judgments on a life that you do not know is you coming into the space of a false prophet. The words of Yahshua are not meant to condemn others. They're supposed to be meant to spread joy and love to each other. I hope you find the healing that you seek by not moving into the space of becoming a false prophet. Anyone on the Eagle, Santo? That's an easy question. Excellent. So I'm going to go ahead and mute you, Drama. So just a reminder to those who are over on the place where we keep the videos, posting the same question over and over again will get you muted and removed. The way you have readings here is by sending a donation or becoming a paid subscriber, and you get a free one card each day. How are you doing today? Thank you for being here as well. Have a great day. I do my best, Soul Empath. I'm glad you feel that way. It's a confounding moon. No, I agree. I just did. If you go to my mystic, if you go to my mystic meditation article, Donald, the shift that we had from the full to the new moon this time is a little bit confusing. You can read more about it there. Yeah, muting Drama. How appropriate. Thank you for encouraging everyone to tap her, and thank you, Hardy, for those roses. And thank you again for having that reading with me, Stella, and wishing you the best on your journey. Let's continue right now. As Soul Empath, the I believe you are. Did you become a paid subscriber? When we get to the one cards, I'll be happy to draw a card for you. We usually do them once we finish the personals. All right, let's continue right now. The next person on the list for today is I'm looking right now for Litha. Litha, if you're here, can you respond in all caps? Let me know if you'd like a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer. I also have to move Strega because she's being naughty. Hold on. Strega, we've talked about this. No, I don't want to hear it. Get off of it. Okay? It's not where you sit. Okay? Please. Yeah, I know. You want to look outside, but that's not where you sit to look outside. Now you have to go say hi to everybody. I don't want to hear it. Don't be making noises when you know you're sitting where you shouldn't be. The baby. I know, she doesn't love her life enough. I tried to. The baby. I know, she's a meatball. And look, she always looks so grumpy when you hold her. She's like, all right. I love you. Go, go, go. Okay? Don't sit over there. You're getting a bath. You're filthy. Okay. Such like a teenager. Yeah, she is. She's like, I'm going back there. Exactly. I know. I'm terrible. I'm a terrible disciplinarian. Ah, my dear. I got you. Yep, I got you, Denise. Perfect. Okay. Okay. All right. You're the next person on the list. Yep. We're good. I know. You see her eyes? They crack me up too. I got confused, Denise. I thought that you were requesting a reading for someone. It didn't connect. Of course, I'd be happy to give you that reading, dear. Absolutely. Excellent. Thank you for the compliment, Mantis. All right. So the one card reading, Soul Empath, are for paid members. So if you can just make sure that you're a paid member, I'll be happy to draw a card for you when we get to the one cards. Excellent. All right, let's get to it. And before we continue right now, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the Animal Oracle card here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I feel like, yeah, we got the Raven. I think it's going to be a part of the reading I'm seeing right now. Yep. And I'm going to pin up Denise here. Guys, make sure to give Denise some love. Can I get 4 cards, please, for Denise? Highest party messages from Spirit. I feel like you've got a new guide coming through. I feel like you've healed. I feel like you've fully healed from a karmic cycle, and there's a new guide coming through for you. And it's interesting too because it feels associated with a past life because they're calling you by a different name. Do I have a book for you? I feel like I do. I'm gonna get a book. 1 minute. Please hold. Yeah, there it is. It makes sense. Yeah, let me write this down. Yeah. You had to, you know, the thing about it, and I want to point this out, there are certain guides, okay? How to explain this? There are certain guides that wait until we energetically clear something karmically in order to be able to work with us, right? And the reason for that is like the thing about it is, um hold on. And it's interesting too, because this particular guide is trying to articulate that the reason that they were energetically waiting for you to kind of move away from something is the equivalent of them not wanting to add rocket fuel to a fist fight. Is what I'm getting, which is like a very specific way. It's like a very specific way to like describe something, which I find very humorous. But they're just articulating that like they're like they're it feels like it's not a convenient time. Right? Like often energetically, like the guides see us like battling out some kind of karmic energy, be like, now's not the right time. Right. And I feel like there's been a little bit of this energy that has been waiting in the wings in terms of you kind of like working to clear something. And I feel like, I don't know why, but they're saying to me like, I don't, they're giving me a lot of like a 6 month energy here. So I don't know if you've been on some kind of healing journey the last 6 months, but they're saying that like they're saying the space by which it's kind of helped you get a better perspective on things is um it's interesting too, because I literally see this guide like coming to you and like seeing you still like working through something and being like, I'll come back later. Like they're like, our guides are very patient, right? Like guides are always like, take all the time you need. But and I want to kind of like I feel like there's something really important about this, because the hard thing about it is um they're articulating about the fact that like you can't, you can be in a relationship, right? You can be in a relationship with someone who does not believe the same things that you believe, but they have to have a healthy respect for it. They have to have a healthy respect for it. And the reason I keep on identifying the fact that they have to have a healthy respect for it is not the space by which another person says that something you believe frightens them, is what I keep on seeing. Because and that's the thing about it, right? Because when somebody says something that we believe frightens them, what they're really saying is that they're scared of us. You know, like that's the ugly truth of it. Like another person saying, that they're scared of something you believe, right? Like the guide's just showing the fact that it's not a safe space to be, because you can draw, they're saying you can draw a straight line from someone saying I'm scared of what you believe to I'm scared of you, right? And so I feel like they're trying to articulate that there was something about you having to go through some kind of journey with another person, like articulating, I keep wondering, like articulating their wariness, you know, like articulating their own wariness. You need a protector. And I keep on hearing a projector is not a protector. A projector cannot be a protector. A projector cannot be a protector, is all they keep on saying. Because and a projector can't be a protector because like they're not going to like they're going to be in a space by which like, again, and even as I'm trying to have this reading, right? They're always going to be like, they're always going to be trying to like make you feel uncomfortable. in terms of being in your authenticity. And I keep on, it's interesting too, because I'm also getting the message that this feels connected to your counterpart, because it sounds to me like they work with your counterpart too. And they're identifying that like your counterpart, like I just keep on hearing the same, they might not believe, like your counterpart's not going to believe the same things you do, but they're gonna say lay off of it, which is to say, like, they're gonna say to others, leave them alone to do the things that they like the lay off of it is not going to be directed to you. It's going to be directed to the energy around you, is what I keep on seeing. I think that's really important, because I feel like one of the concerns that this guide has about someone trying to come back to you, right? I feel like I see some situation of someone trying to like make some kind of emotional appeal to come back into your life right now. And I just keep on getting like the same message. I miss you is not the same thing as I've like there's somebody here who, like, being able to articulate, even if they're in the space by which they articulate that they put you in a difficult position. They're other, it's interesting too, because they're almost articulating about the fact that if fear was, I keep on getting, if fear was a factor, hold on. If fear was a factor, then accountability is not enough. This is really important. Okay? Because the reason they're articulating, if fear is a factor, accountability is not enough, because another person can't help if they're scared of something. Right? Like, there's no situation by which I can say to you, it's okay, I'll just stop being scared of things. Like, that's not within my threshold to do, right? If only it was that easy, right? That's not an onus that we can give ourselves. So if there was a situation, and the reason the guides articulating this is because they go through this a lot too. They're articulating that we don't hold each other, like, we don't hold each other hostage in the space by which we say, stop being afraid of me. Like, there's nothing sillier than to say to someone, stop being afraid of me, as if they could, right? We just recognize whether they are or not. So they're saying, be very conscientious of someone that potentially moved away from you. And in the space by which they moved away from you, they espoused the articulation of something that you did that they were afraid of, and is trying to come back with you, because they're trying to articulate that they're okay with it now, but they're not, because they're saying accountability is not enough if fear is a factor, because you can't control what you're afraid of. So them saying it's okay, I'll get over it, it's not about getting over it, it just shouldn't be there in the first place. Bottom of the deck on this reading, it's sad but true, right? It's sad but true. Sometimes in the context, this is often the context we reach when we recognize that we can't get back together with someone, because another person, you can take all the accountability in terms of under the sun of what's gone wrong. But if another person literally says to you, like, I'm afraid of you, well, that's it. Like, there's nothing else to be done, because they can't, like, that fear is not something that they can control, nor is it something that you, right, nor is it something that you can do anything about, right? That's not on you, and it's not on them either. So you have to effectively take their fear at face value, even rejecting, right? Take their fear at face value, even rejecting the fact that they'll say, no, it's okay, they can't put their fear on a leash, is what they say. Like, there's no one who can say, it's okay, I'll put my fear on a leash, it doesn't go anywhere, is what I keep on hearing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, dear. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. If you would like to get on the list, the list is closed, but if you'd like to get on the list for tomorrow, why? Why must we do this? I make this place for you, and you choose to sit there. Why? Sorry. If this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. It is 3 cards. The list is close to you, but if you want to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll have first priority, and which means you'll be read for before we start the daily collective. I'm going to take a moment to read over some of the comments that came through as I was reading. Yes, I got you, Kath, and the list is closed. I mean, Esteban, you're welcome to get on the list if you want to get on the list today, but there's a possibility you'll have to be moved tomorrow because I have a hard stop and I need to make sure that I'm leaving time for those who would like their 1 cards. All right. And just reading over the comments. I love the leaf blower as a paid actor. Can guys leave and new ones come in? Yeah. You know, the way it typically works. So there are some guides, that, from my experience with reading for those who I read for, there are some guides that are with us the whole time, right? There's some guides that are with us the whole time. There are some guides that come in when they're needed, when they're energetically, like when the situation demands it, they show up. There are some guides that if you're lucky, there's some guides if you're lucky, you'll never see in your experience, right? There's some guides that are like, I'm here when things have gone wrong, and things have indeed gone wrong. there's some, and there's some guides. So like the nature of our guides, it is you know, based upon what we need at those moments. And I would never say, it's not that a guide goes away completely, but the way I like to describe it is some guides step backwards while others step forwards, if that's the best, like if that's the thing. And then there are situations by which a guide can like, you know, like turn their back on you. But like usually, like if like typically those who've had that happen aren't actually getting readings from me. Because like that's usually why they're not getting readings from me. Yeah. Yeah, depending on the circumstances, they'll be like, okay, you're good, peace out. Exactly. they're like bye, no, we're good, like mic drop, they're like see you later, like it's like that. Yeah, exactly. That's what I heard Sin say. Yeah, me with my counterpart. Pivot. Yeah, just tell me where, girl. How you doing today, Kath? I got you. Yeah, saying that louder for those, they have respect, but it's just lip service. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's postponed right now, Nicole. Oh, that's amazing, Bridget. I love it. Congratulations. And thank you for those heart me's, dear. Yeah, why does it feel for me too? Hey there, Kath. Thank you, Chasing. Whose reading is this? I can relate. Thank you for also receiving this message. The list is now closed, Esteban. But like I said, if you want to get on, if you're comfortable with potentially being on tomorrow, I'm happy. You're welcome to get on the list. You're welcome, Denise. Yep, I got you, Kath. Mm-hmm. No problem, Bridget. Hope it goes well. Fascinating. Yeah, the lifers and the angelics are a good example. Exactly. That's a good, like, yeah, specifically the angelics. You know, angelics are kind of notorious for that, but they're busy. They got a lot. They got a lot of stuff on their plate. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Unique. Mm-hmm. All right. Let's continue right now. The next person, hold on a minute. Absolutely. How you doing today, Alamander? Hold on a minute. Uh, just bear with me a minute. Okay. Bobby, so there's no adding to a reading. We already did the tarot astrology. Unfortunately, the tube crashed in the middle of the reading. So if you'd like to catch, I'm not sure if all the signs got recorded, but if you want to go over to Stack, my Stack has the full astrology signs, including Pisces. It's also available right now as a podcast, and you can find all of those links in my tree that has links in it in my bio. Absolutely. I've got a firm rule explorer about posting non sequiturs in the chat space. So make sure that you're posting full thought forms, or you will be muted because nobody can understand what you're saying. Appreciate it. Excellent. All right, we're going to continue right now. The next person on the list for today is Per. Can you let me? Oh, correction. It's Nicole. Nicole, can you let me know if we're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? All right. How you doing today, Nicole? Good to see you. And while we wait for Nicole's question, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the animal oracle card here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We got the crane. We'll do that again after the next reading. I'm going to pin up Nicole here. Can you let me know, Nicole, if we're doing a general reading or if you have a specific question you'd like me to answer? Esteban, you can't just put bird. There's a lot of birds in that deck. You're stacking your guess. Okay. Close enough. Highest priority for the next 3 months. How you doing today, Slack? I mean, it says prepare for a deeper awakening is what I'm getting. Feels highly connected to an angelic. And the best thing I can see here, the best thing I'm identifying is, you know, like I literally, it's interesting because like I'm hearing an angelic articulating, I'm blessing the situation so you don't have to. You know, I just keep on hearing an angelic saying, I'm blessing the situation so you don't have to. And the best way I can describe, oh man, the best way I can describe it, you know, and I want to point, and I feel like there's something really important to identify here as it relates to a guide blessing a situation. Because what they're basically articulating to me is if somebody is in the space by which when they're depressed, they're obsessed with you, then I want you to understand that anything that happens in that space is somebody giving something to, like, it's giving me a lot of move along energy. You know? Sometimes, and I want you to understand this, and I think you'll understand this deeply. Sometimes the best blessing is one that allows another person to move on from something, which is the space by which another person has their hands full, is energetically busy, is ready to like move away from something. Okay, you understand what I'm saying. I feel like there's a lot of that potentially that's going to be happening. And I want you to understand the context. Like the thing that's being articulated with that context is understand. Remember when I said that's like the message you should remember when you're seeing that is your guide saying, I'm blessing the situation so that you don't have to. And a lot of that too, it's interesting too, because after that too, I keep on getting a dot. It's like there's a dot, there's an ellipse. There's an ellipse after that dot, dot, dot is what I keep on seeing, right? Which is basically so, like it says to me, like someone healing from having the time. I keep writing someone healing from having the time to waste your time, right? Yeah, someone healing from having the time to waste your time. Or someone having to put on an act. Hold on. Someone having to put on an act on what a good person they are. Prepare for the show is what I keep on hearing. Prepare for the show. And I keep on getting let the show happen. Right? Like let the show happen is what I keep on seeing. Because it feels to me like I just keep on seeing the same thing. Like I keep on hearing like even if it bothers you to see it, remember it's a blessing. Right? They're saying don't don't get stressed about it. I keep wondering, don't get stressed about it. Make some popcorn. Is what I keep on hearing. Like don't get stressed about it. Make some popcorn. Because and I feel like there's something there's something really important about that. Because and the context that I'm seeing, okay? If someone and I have to stress this because this is like there's a lot of messages that are coming through this angelic because it's a very specific angelic. They're saying if somebody needs to be performative in order to do something well, it doesn't matter whether they feel it in their heart or not. Right? And I know that's painful to hear. Right? But it says to me, if someone is being performative in doing a good job, right? If someone's being performative and doing a good job, the job's still getting done, right? Even if like if I keep wondering, even if their heart's not in it. I know you don't get it, right? Because the thing is, the energy around them can tell the difference. Right? The energy around them can tell the difference. I keep wondering, the energy around them can tell the difference between an act of love and another person putting on a performance as they do the bare minimum. So I want you to be energetically mindful about that, because I feel like I see a time that's allowing you to rest and recover and to balance, like to come into balance with your guides. And it's going to potentially look like things outside you, like outside of the situations, are being blessed. Remember, even if it doesn't feel like it, they're being blessed for your benefit, is what I keep on seeing. Just give it, just give it the context of being patient. Especially, I keep wondering, especially for the next eight, like heavy on the 8. So this is saying to me 8 weeks, 8 months. Bottom of the deck on this. Yeah. This is saying to me, like, especially like with this 10 in its reversal, this 10 of swords in its reversal. The 10 of swords in its reversal talks to us about, especially with that reversal, this is interesting because I now connect this card to one of your guides in the astral. Like, especially when it comes to you, like this card is deeply connected to the astral for you, because I just keep on seeing this card keeps on popping up in the astral. So I feel like it's somebody effectively checking in to let you know that they're still fine. So I want you to be conscientious about that, because, and I want you to kind of pay attention to that 10 of swords in its reversal, because I know that you do your own readings. I know that you do your own readings, and they're articulating to me that is like that is their card. So I feel like that's also something that's appearing there, because they want you to know that as you're continuing through, because I just keep on, like, I don't know if you've already drawn that association to them, or if this card has been popping up in their readings, but this is them reaffirming that they're still looking out for you in the astral, even if you can't energetically see them. Thank you so much for having that reading with me. If this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here to experience them. We are doing personal readings right now. The list is closed, but if you would like to get on the list for tomorrow, you'll have first priority, which means you will be the first person read for before we start the collective. You're almost done your book, Nicole. You might be the second person. You might be the second person to have a second book. All right. Okay, perfect. No, that was that message. The bottom of the deck message was not the angelic. Um, I have to look up that. I have to look up that angelic, because it's something. There's something about an angelic coming through that I have to check out. All right, one moment. Mm-hmm. Just reading over the comments. Hi there, Ruby. To get a reading. So basically, so Ruby, we've got 2 more individuals today who have full readings that they would like to have, and then we're going to move into our 1-card readings for paid members and super fans. So we should start that in about 20 minutes. Okay. Thank you for the compliment, Jonathan. I think Yashua was an incredible teacher that's often misunderstood. Yep. I have no idea what you're talking about, Surah. Yeah, please write that down, Nicole. It felt like it was a very important message coming through. Hi there, Jackie. Great. I'm tired of quantum leaping. It's been nonstop. Yeah. They tell me to rest. Y'all won't let me. That was very kind of them. And thank you for those lightning bolts, Hardy. Hope you're having a beautiful day. Yes, I do understand that deeply. And the Martez, thank you for the follow. I'm going to write that down. Hi there, Adabul. If I'm ever saying your name incorrectly, please make sure to let me know, and I'll be happy to correct. My wife, I don't I feel like I need you to be more clear in terms of what you're trying to communicate. I don't understand what you're posting there, Ada. I love a good play. How is the fake was a blessing? I guess I'll find out. Yeah, I love popcorn. I'll bring extra butter. Show must go on. I don't understand that energy at all. I do everything for my head and heart. So now I don't get that, but I'll watch. Even I can see that. Yeah, thank you for confirming. Same. I feel like that knocking. Yeah, no, I know, but that's what I mean. Like, I feel like that's what I keep on seeing. Like it feels to me like something like somebody's working on healing something, you know? And I feel like a lot of like that was the energy and spirit that was trying to let you know that they're still there and they're still looking out for you. Mhm. Yeah. Did you get on the list? It's okay, Esteban. Yeah, I wanna see if I can get to the I wanted to see if I can get clarity on that name. So as soon as I do, I'll send it over to you. Um yeah, because sometimes when those names come through, I need like if I haven't heard them before, I need to make sure that they're like I need I it sounds weird. I like to qualify the lead if that makes sense. I like to make sure that when I'm like I need to find the energy that's connected to the name. Yeah, absolutely. Okay. About my problem with no context. What the ear dream. Oh my goodness. All right, we're going to continue right now. The next person on the list is Per. Esteban, did you get on the list? I didn't I just want to confirm if you did or not. Okay. All right. Okay, thank you for letting me know, Esteban. So what I'd say is if you're comfortable with me doing the one cards, um, before I start your reading, we'll see how we're looking, okay? Thank you. All right, we're going to continue right now. The next person is Per. Before we continue with Per's reading, let's see here. Where did you post it? Oh, I see it. Never mind. Okay. All right, I got you. Before we continue with Per's reading, let's warm up those intuition muscles with an intuition check. I've got the Animal Oracle card here. We're going to count back from 10. And when we get to 1, I will reveal the card. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nikki. Really? Oh my God, you got it. We got it. Okay, I thought you said something with big ears. Like all I saw was something with big ears. Excellent. All right, let's get to it. All right, hold on a minute. We've been talking about this the whole time. How are you just now? What do you mean? Okay. It's okay. It's okay. Okay, it's fine. It's okay. Oh, look at them. All right. Okay. It's okay. No, it's sometimes, no, it's fine. I know. Sometimes it's okay. No. Sometimes I get it. I understand. I've been there. I've been there. Okay. All right. Where's your book? I'm just going to get it out already because I know I'm going to need it. Okay. Outside tea. Is this a, oh, okay. We've got a dream coming through. Oh, that was a nice one. All right. Following fragments. I saw a woman around 70 to 75 years old standing in nature in a grassy field. Based on her clothing, I couldn't tell what time period she was from. She was dressed very simply and carried a plain wooden walking stick or a shepherd's crook with a round hook handle. Her hair was long and almost completely gray, tied back in a low ponytail. On a small section still showed traces of its original black color. I saw her up close and she gave me a warm, genuine smile. Somehow she felt oddly familiar. I was underwater in the ocean. Everything was incredibly calm, and I watched a translucent white jellyfish drift by. I felt completely at peace, which is unusual for me because I'd normally be terrified that deep in the sea. My first thought was that I was a mermaid. Slowly, I rose toward the surface and caught a 1 second glimpse of land far in the distance before sinking back down in the water again. Slowly, probably too slow for a mermaid. Was I actually seeing through the eyes of a fishy? Your words. My original intention was to practice remote viewing with my cat. The lyrics of the song have a baby by me, baby, be a millionaire were in my head before and after the fragments, totally off track, considering the fragments and only mentioning this if relevant. Okay. Can I get 4 cards? Mm-hmm. All right. So, the first one is a past life memory. And the thing about it is I feel like the one thing that we're kind of building into with some of your past life memories is having to effectively draw into context clues in relationality to where you are and what you are doing. So the best thing I can articulate in relationality to some of these past life memories is making sure um, there are there are the details on these are probably going to be the most helpful in terms of trying to identify the locationality. So just to give you a little bit of energetic homework next time you have one of these fragments come through, like if it's possible, do everything you can to focus on the details, right? And you know, the fact that you're identifying that you're out somewhere in a grassy field, right, with someone who's dressed simply, but they themselves had a wooden walking stick. I mean, this is going to sound a little odd, but I would be very curious to know how tall it was, because if it's short, like you mentioned the word shepherd's crook, but a shepherd's crook is tall, right? Because a shepherd's crook is tall because it's meant to be able to grab, to utilize. Like the reason a shepherd carries a crook is so that they can grab a sheep if a sheep is going the wrong way. So it's actually very important to me to understand the length of the crook, because whether they were leaning on it for weight or whether they were carrying a shepherd's crook is the difference as to whether they were there to try to reel something in with it or something that they needed for energetic support. It was not high. Okay, so it was a walking stick. Okay, so that's important to notate. But even in the space by which you identified that they felt familiar, this would also give us indications that this is a past life memory, because this would potentially be a situation by which you potentially took walks with this person frequently in some context or situation. Remember when I talked about the fact that you return someone back to where they came from, and someone said you'll always have a home here? I feel like this is associated to that. Now, the second dream, and especially in the fact by which you identified, yeah. Now, in the second dream, uh, the thing you have to understand. Okay, how do I explain this? Okay. How do I explain this? So I'm going to walk you through something, and I hope that you understand what I'm about to explain. When do you remember when I articulated that there is a guide that has come towards you because they can help you with something? The identification point of someone energetically connecting to you, and they themselves are an expert at something. Okay. This is wild. So I want you to think about the fact that if you are a novice at something and then you try to energetically connect with someone that is an expert at something, what is the expert energy going to do? They're going to say, look what I can do, right? So I don't know what the download you had that finally made something click for you, but them, okay, I just want to show you what effectively is happening here. Wow, this is cool. All right, I got to draw a diagram for this reading. This is you, okay? Remember when I talked about the quadrants? This is you. That's point A. This is them. That's point B. And then if they're really good at something, what can they do? They can take you to point C, okay? Which is why when you energetically connected to them, they said, look what I can do. And they connected you to a whale. It was a whale. It was a whale. because things that come up slowly, you rose towards the surface. You rose to the surface. Fish don't rise to the surface. It wasn't a fish, it was a whale. Because they can do it too. So, and that's why you heard the lyrics. So the lyrics that you said, okay, basically clarified that, okay? Because what did the lyrics say? I don't to the song. You said, "Have a baby by me," right? Okay, have a baby by me, right? Have a baby by me, right? The baby by me, they're the baby by you, right? They're your baby, the baby by you. Baby, okay, baby, that's your baby. Become a millionaire. Become a millionaire, right? So they're identifying, they were they were connecting to a song. They were energetically connecting to a song that you already had in your head to help you understand the process by which it was occurring. So the song lyrics are "Have a baby by me," so the baby that's beside you, right? Baby, become a millionaire. So that the space by which they're communicating to you, saying, if you don't know how to do it, tell them where you want to go, and they can bring you there. Right? they're saying, baby by me, baby, become a millionaire. So they're saying, are you understand? You see what I'm trying to get you? Do you see what I'm trying? Look what I can do. They're trying to walk you through how to energetically work with them. And again, I love the fact that you didn't necessarily explain the full nature of the download that you are receiving, just the fact that it clicked, right? And I feel like this is them saying, like, this is why. Like, remember when I said, right, I can't work under these conditions, right? They weren't concerned about being where they wanted you to know where they were. I can't work under these conditions because they said, how are you going to find me if you don't know where I am? Right? Like that's why they were being so energetically rigid. Right? That's why they were being so energetically rigid about not wanting, right? Not wanting to leave the space by which they're energetically comfortable. Because I just keep on seeing that it's like, it's funny too, because I can't do this. So I don't, I'm like literally like, I'm reading into something that I can't do, which is also very funny. But like, there's something about that. They're like they want to be, like, they want to be where they are because, oh, I know why. Because they're connecting with you sympathetically. Yeah, that's why. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, because your energetic signature, right? Your energetic signature is there, which is why they don't necessarily need to be in proximity to you. They just need to be by your signature, is what I keep on seeing. Thank you so much for having that reading with me, Per. That's cool. And if this message connected to you as well, it's very common for those who need these messages to be here. That's so cool to be here. Like that's what the frog. I'm done. I'm done. Literally, leapfrog, leapfrog. Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay. Yeah, it's so literal. Okay. Okay. The next person we're reading for. The next person we're reading for right now. The next person we're reading for right now is Kath. So, Kath, if it's okay, I'd like to put a request in because I am short on time today. I would like to do the one cards because I do have a hard stop. So, I just want to make sure that we have enough time. So, please let me know if you're comfortable with that. I find it sad that you say that besides the gray, you find beauty in me, John. It's a very sad thing to say. Hi there, Messeret. Thank you for the follow. You just woke up, Chris, with your laughter. That's amazing. Sorry, Chris. Absolutely. Not a shepherd's crook. Mm-hmm. Yep. Why that song? And I was asking myself as well. Nope, we know. It's very clear. Mm-hmm. I have so many questions. I'm studying the details in this fragment like a hawk because it's interesting and I'm awake. It has to do with the space by which you deliver to someone. Yeah, it is hermit vibes. Yeah, it was not as high as a shepherd's crook. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And thank you, dear. Oh, I now understand the distinction. Yeah, it was so yeah, no, that was happening in the present. That was actively happening. Yeah, like Melissa gets it. Melissa gets it. Yeah, I knew you would amazingly connect the dots. I missed that part. And yet, thank you for the follow. My little friend just sent me a drawing of a large fish or whale with a baby on its back. Synchronicities. No way, truly. Got it with, oh, that's wild, Ella. Yeah, I see the babies in the front pic, the frog done. Wow, so that message connected to you as well, Ella. That's really cool. Mm-hmm. You're so welcome, Per. That is awesome. Okay, let's get to it. It's gonna have something to do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Oh, good Lord. All right, let's continue right now. We're actually, so hi there, Ruby. We're actually probably doing one cards now. Just bear with me a moment. I just want to confirm, Kath, or if you're comfortable with that. Yeah. The cat was all excited yesterday, being downstairs while I was connecting and making noise. That's so wild. Mm-hmm. I'm not even seeing Kath here. Kath, are you here? Okay, so we're going to start one cards while I wait for Kath to confirm. Okay. Avatar, 2 cards, please. Highest priority. I feel like this is you working through the context of having some kind of breakthrough in terms of something that feels like a limiting belief. You know? Yeah, it feels like a guide. Like it feels like a guide here. I'm here to clear that pesky limiting belief of yours. Yeah, the eagle. It's feeling angelic. Like that's the reason it feels angelic is because often angelics are like whether you like it or not. You know, it's like I feel like I have to write that down for you. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that guide. Okay. One card, highest priority for Melissa, please. um, Make sure you're letting someone know the uncomfortable position they're putting you in. You know? Yeah, especially with the magician. Like I keep on hearing, good friends don't put each other in uncomfortable positions. Animal oracle. Yeah, with the hawk, right? Like it says to me, like it's like we don't impose. And if we and it's like, I feel like sometimes explaining to someone why something might be awkward, or like somebody, like you having to say something like, oh, they didn't say anything, and being like, yeah, they didn't say anything because they were being polite. You know what I mean? Sometimes sometimes you have to be clear to energy that lacks tact, is what I'm getting. You know? Nicole, one card, divine counterpart. Um, this energy feels like it's very close by. But the thing is, and here comes again, here comes that energy in terms of waiting, right? Like allowing, like it almost feels to me like someone, like the energy is like holding back from coming towards you, not because there's like you're energetically in alignment, but making sure that another person has like it's saying to me, like this feels like some kind of clearing period to allow you and them to have some kind of peace, if that makes sense, which is why I keep on seeing, right? Allowing another person to find their bliss being the best thing that's ever happened for you, right? Like wishing them bliss in everything. Because I keep wondering, their bliss is your peace. That's what you have to say, right? Their bliss, your peace. Okay. One card in love for Esteban. You know, it's funny, the tarot, the Fuego tarot popped up. So I'm going to give you a card from here because it was asking me to. The right connection is going to find your emotional vulnerability the most beautiful part of you, right? I feel like this is really important because I feel like, you know, and this is the worst part about it. When we are not energetically connected to someone, they can make us feel like our blessing is a burden. Your emotional connection is an absolute blessing for someone that understands a true connection, right? Not animal oracle. Yeah, not somebody who likes to build relationships based on comparison, right? Because comparison is false, because what others try to broadcast is all, like I keep on someone who's obsessed with looking, it's weird since like someone who's obsessed with looking at pictures and assuming that they're real, right? And I keep on hearing, do you know how long it takes to set up a perfect shot? Right? It's like often like somebody who's like someone who like so it feels to me like somebody who like like someone who drinks the someone who drinks the illusion, right? You can't be in a relationship with an illusion drinker, which is somebody who doesn't realize that if something feels like it's like natural, right? Or something that's occurring, like being like, why can't I have that? Being like, 'cause that's not real. Like they set up that shot is what I keep on hearing. Absolutely. Oh, all right. Apologies for that person coming in here. Yeah, well, yeah, Kath, I was looking. So I've got a hard stop today. I wanted to ask if we could do one cards quickly before we do your reading because I just want to make sure that we have enough time. You're so welcome, Nicole. Hi there, movement. I hope you have a beautiful day. All right, I got you. Ava, one card, highest priority, please. For Ava. I feel like there's a lot of karmic clearing that's happening with you right now. So don't be surprised if a lot of experiences from the past kind of rise back up to the surface right now, particularly with a lot of this devil energy. Like it's saying to me, like your ability, I keep on hearing healthy connections don't require explanations as to why they're healthy. Animal oracle. Yeah, healthy connections don't require lengthy conversations on why something's healthy. They just are, is what I keep on seeing. So I feel like that's important because it almost feels like somebody who like wants to talk to you about a healthy connection, and having to understand that like sometimes someone's obsession with a healthy connection is why they can't have one, if that makes sense. All right. Hi there, Ruby. One card for Ruby, please. And this is a Ruby over on the place where we keep the videos. If somebody's making you feel like it's a competition, don't participate. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, you don't need, I got two cards. You don't need to be in the habit of proving your worth. If someone says prove your worth, right? Like let them like if they can't see it, like let that be the closure, right? If they can't see all of the work that you're doing, like let that be the closure by which you move away from something. Animal Oracle, particularly with the air dragon energy, it's really saying to me, a circumstance or situation by which one is able to effectively, I keep on seeing, especially if you do something, um like help them under. I'm laughing because Strega just completely fell off the thing that she was laying on. But that's what I mean. Like don't allow yourself to get frustrated if another person is questioning your energetic value. Let you know, let the work speak for, like let the work be your answer, right? Like don't feel like you need to prove it. Just allow it to be the context by which the work speaks for itself, is what I keep on getting. Yep. Absolutely. I know. Did you hear her? Yeah, just completely boom, boom, like just toppled. And now she's just playing it off. She's like, it's fine. Absolutely. All right, now we're reading for the. Hold on, I'm going back. Yeah, Ruby, I haven't drawn you if over on the place where we keep the photo over on the clock app. I blocked them. Thank you guys. I apologize that they had that opportunity to communicate. Julia, one card highest and best. Ooh. I just keep on saying be your natural self. Like it says to me, have fun with it. This is the best card. This is actually like the best card to bring to a photo shoot, which is just kind of like having some kind of carefree attitude on it. Yeah, King of Pentacles. Um, it's saying to me like, um, I keep on getting like this is the start of a beautiful friendship or having some kind of energetic connection with someone. Um, I don't know why, like, I keep on hearing, like, make sure that you reaffirm, like, remind someone what your sizes are if there's something related to sizing. Yeah, especially with the stag energy. I don't know why it's like somebody like feeling like it's interesting because with like the stag energy and like um King of Pentacles, I just keep on hearing leaving them with your stats or communicating what your stats are to make sure that they're accommodating for something energetically unique about you is what I keep on seeing. Like somebody appreciating how prepared you are in that way. Excellent. Yeah, I have to pull back. We had a little bit of a skip moment when Strega knocked everything over. Bear with me a minute. Got you. Minnie, one card on that camping trip. I mean, I feel like it's interesting because I feel like it's interesting because it feels like the tenor has shifted into a conversation upon relationships. you know, bottom of the deck. Yeah, especially with the Six of Swords and its reversal. Yeah, I feel like there's something about this owl energy in terms of being able to articulate to another, like somebody being more candid about articulating something that they themselves are concerned or worried about is what I keep on saying. Strega, can you please get down from there? Hold on. Okay, it's not my fault that you knocked it over. You got to be more careful. No, I don't want to hear it. Don't have it. Look, and now you got a sock stuck to you. Yeah, I know. Okay, don't go over there. I've talked to you about this. All right, now you're stuck. Come here. All right. Where were we? Hi there, Rian. How you doing today? No, you haven't. I haven't pulled for you yet, Ruby. Alexandra, one card on the lingering disappointment. Things can change in an instant, right? Don't lose hope on something. Bottom of the deck. Yeah, right? Nothing, I keep hearing nothing is permanent, and that's working towards your benefit. Animal Oracle. Yeah. Blank manifestation. Hold on to the possibility that anything can change at any moment. You're so welcome, Nicole. I appreciate that, Kath. Kath, one card on Divine Counterpart, please. Happy Pride, real. All right, one moment, please. Let's see. I see somebody right now going through like, and I want to I want to point this out. I see your counterpart right now in hermit mode. I see somebody who's potentially like working into the context of getting more serious or even potentially ending something. I keep on saying potentially ending something, not because there's anything wrong with it, but because they don't energetically feel it. Yeah, like the Six of Swords and its reversal. Like I feel like this is someone that's trying, like literally I see somebody talking to someone about the fact that there's nothing wrong, right? But just like I keep on hearing them say like there's nothing wrong, we should be energetically perfect. But they're articulating upon like they're energetically like there it is, like there's that adder energy, right? Like I see them saying to someone, sometimes you feel it. Sometimes the conditions are perfect, but you don't. And I feel like that's them trying to be mature about a situation. And it feels like it feels heavy. But I also feel like they know, like they know. And I keep on hearing somebody say, I know intuitively what divine union feels like. And I feel like they're following that inner bell. Yeah, I haven't drawn your card yet, Ruby. Over on the clock. Yeah, Strega ate it. It was funny. She's a chaos kitty. Yeah, she meant to fall. Ruby, one card on their feelings towards you. I mean, I feel like I see somebody who's looking forward to an opportunity of connecting with you. They think about you a lot. Yeah, but here's the thing about it. Like, I see somebody that's decided that they're not coming towards you unless they can properly come towards you. You know? Like, I see somebody, they're upset. I keep wondering, they're obsessed with having something in their hands. They're obsessed with the desire. Like, they can't, I keep wondering, they don't want to come towards you unless they can provide for you. And I feel like this is them having some kind of complex in terms of where they are in their own life versus where they aspire to be. Yeah, she was totally trying to act cool, per. Ivana, one card, divine guidance. It's a continuation of the dream. All of that, you know, even in the space, like I see the guides potentially not desire, like it's almost like the guides issuing an apology and the fact that they had to bring that shadow work to you in the form of what they did. But I feel like the fact by which they understand that another person has almost volunteered to do that, because they understand that they understand deeply, like it's them understanding deeply what it means to go through that, right? Bottom of the deck, right? It's somebody almost reaffirming the fact that they would never do that to you. But in the observation, like the space by which, I keep on hearing the space by which the dream space they had to create that was for you to articulate that really impactful statement of saying, you're going to do what he did again, right? The observation of the fact that you're still carrying that anxiety and fear. And like the fear that we see is the fear we can clear, right? Absolutely. You're welcome, dear. You're so welcome, Ivana. Gabrielle, one card on partner's feelings towards you. I feel like I see somebody who they know exactly what it is that you're looking for, right? Like they see the fact that you're potentially one of the most mature people that they've ever met, right? And I like to point this out, mature energy has aspirations and plans. Yeah, and I feel like I see somebody trying to ready and steady themselves as they recognize that like they it's like saying like they have to meet you in that maturity, because like it's not like I see you like you not be like you not being in the space of wanting to waste time. Yeah, especially with the cow, right? Like the observation of understanding the eagerness, the understanding of you of seeing like you working through something. I keep on hearing the word that comes through is prodigious, right? So you're very much in a prodigious energy that's potentially building into what's potentially possible or what can grow. And I feel like they're more in a rigid state right now, and they're trying to figure out how to become more adaptable. Mhm. It feels like there's going to be a deep dive there. It feels like it's become a lot more of an intimate conversation. Minnie. I got you, Nikki. Oh gosh, 3 cards. And they're all transverse. And I'm hearing the lines when I come around, right? I don't know, like they're leaning towards that song when I come around. Um and I think it's interesting because it feels like somebody trying to articulate to you that they can see another person recognizing that they've been kind of a jerk about something, is what I keep on getting. And I feel like this is something that they know this person well, and they've seen them do that before, is what I keep on seeing. Like literally somebody who's hyperbolic in terms of saying things like I'll never be okay with something, and lo and behold they were fine. Right? It's like it's saying to me like the value that the life-changing power of recognizing when a hyperbolic person has to get something out of their system, is what I keep on seeing, right? Which is having to navigate sometimes someone making a big deal out of something that they just need to get used to. And I feel like the more that you're able to recognize that is you not, I keep wondering, not getting caught on the big deal, but saying like, deal with it, right? Deal with it. Like you kind of putting on the sunglasses and being like, deal with it, and not allowing yourself to get caught in like the big feelings that turn out to be like nothing, is what I keep on getting, right? And so and then you get the ability to say to someone, see, you're making a big deal out of nothing. Were you making a big deal out of nothing again? Okay, good. Okay. Thank you so much, dear. Amar, these are donation based reads. These are free 1 cards for paid members. So if you want to become a paid member, I'm happy to draw a card for you. The list today is closed for full readings, but if you want to send a donation for tomorrow, you'll be added to the list for tomorrow. That's interesting. that official could potentially have to do with the energy that we maintain in this area, in this collective. So if you're feeling that, welcome. Excellent. I got you literally exactly what happened. Thank you for confirming, Nikki. Let this be your confirmation, right? Yes, Esteban, I'll be on at our usual time tomorrow, so 7:15 a.m. PST, 10:15 a.m. Eastern. You're welcome, Nikki. One card, Bridget, highest priority. It's coming from divine counterpart. They're articulating upon the fact that they're healing. And I feel like I see somebody who's like coming into the realization that the worst thing that ever happened to them might be the best thing that ever happened to them. Yeah, I see somebody going, I'm coming into the dawning realization that the worst thing that ever happened might have been the best thing that ever happened, is what I keep on seeing. Because I feel like it's somebody who's connecting to themselves in a way that they never have before, because they don't feel the obligation of being the performative self, and that's allowing them to find their real self. One card for creative on finances, please. Two cards coming out. Pay attention to what's discretionary right now. Like, it's saying to me, like, kind of going through and seeing what's taking like incremental things, right? Yeah, like, especially with like this Three of Wands, like, don't let a bunch of incremental fees chip away at you. If it feels like something is slowly ticking up, go find something better, is what I keep on getting. Or I keep on hearing, send them a letter, like tell them to energetically redress or give back something, because it feels like you're being overcharged on something. Animal Oracle. Yeah, put in that inquiry. Just asking the question could go a long way, is what I keep on seeing. Thank you, dear. Absolutely. My dreams have been wild. Oh, well, I'm very much looking forward to our we'll get into it tonight. I got a lot to share with you. But that's often what happens when we have mentorships, right? When I get into a mentorship with someone, a lot of new information starts coming forward. Thank you. So Amar, I do a free collective each day, which has already occurred. If you want to find that free collective, you can go over to my podcast or over to my spot. I'll be back on tomorrow to do another free collective. However, for personal reads, those are donation based. So if you want a personal reading that requires a donation, or a one card that's personal, that would require a paid membership. But again, if you'd like to, I'd encourage you or welcome you to come back tomorrow, and you'll be able to participate. You'll have be able to be here for the free collective that we do each day. No, I appreciate you, Nicole. Thank you for the help over there as well. All right, my friends. Again, and I apologize. Oh, I got you, Ella. So I've got Kath and Esteban on the list. I have a hard stop right now, friends, but I will put you guys both for tomorrow. And if and you will also have priority, which means you'll have priority to be read for before we start the daily collective. I got you, Ella. One card on those words. It's connected to your divine counterpart. It's somebody who feels like they can be their authentic self with you. I feel like this is often energy that feels frustrated because others can't handle their intensity. Yeah, and I feel like that's like this is all it's coming straight from the divine counterpart. Right? I told you they're finally taking a risk on themselves. They're finally doing something in an unabashed way. And I feel like coming into connection with you is going to feel very liberating, because I feel like you and them share a common passion on something. I appreciate that, Nikki. All right, my friends, we've reached the conclusion of our read today. I want to thank you guys so much for being here and receiving these messages. If you became a super fan or paid member today, welcome. I would encourage you to private message me with a disco gift. I will send you an invite to, oh, Alexandra. I already pulled for Alexandra. Um, I would invite, go ahead and send me. No, Alexandra, I posted, I read for you. It said to me, it said, don't feel disappointed. Anything can change at a moment's notice. You got the blank, you got the blank, you got it work related. You got the blank manifestation card, which says anything can happen at any moment. There's nothing is in concrete. So even if it feels like you're receiving something disappointing, just wait because it could change in an instant. All right, my friends, I want to thank you again for being here and receiving these messages. As I mentioned, if you missed the Daily Collective, it should be up right now. I'm apologize for those who are on the tube. The tube crashed, so the whole reading might not be there, but you'll be able to find it over on my stack and over as a podcast on my spot. We'll be back on tomorrow at our standard time, 7:15 a.m. PST, 10:15 a.m. Eastern. If you'd like to get on the list today, you'll be added to the list for tomorrow. You'll be the third person read for. If you became a super fan today, I would encourage you to message me a disco gift and join our disco, our superfan and paid member only disco channel. You can introduce yourself to the collective there. You'll also find a coupon code in the perk section for our tarot class subscription program. Our next class is this Thursday at 5:30 p.m. PST, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be continuing our studies into the tarot with a focus on the ace cards. I want to thank you guys so much for being here today and sharing in these messages. Huge thank you to my followers, old and new. Thank you for being here and receiving these messages. Huge thank you to my subscribers. Your ongoing support means the absolute world to me. I hope you guys have an absolutely beautiful day. Thank you, Trishina. Please take care of yourselves. Please take care of one another. And we'll do this again